Are you considering working in schools as a cover supervisor and you are not certain about what the duties or the roles of a cover supervisor, what it entails, and you're also concerned if you'll be needing any qualifications in education or outside of education degree in order to become a cover supervisor in the secondary schools in the UK? Well, as someone who has worked and is currently working as a cover supervisor in schools in the UK, I will be sharing with you some of the detailed requirements, expectations, your roles, what it entails to become a cover supervisor in the UK. However, this video was also inspired by a question dropped in one of my recent videos about education. Treasure Kitchen asked this very question. She wanted to know more about the job of a cover supervisor, what we do, what they do, Thank you, Treasure Kitchen, for asking the question in the comment section. Meanwhile, if you are new to my channel, you are sincerely welcome here. Like this video, subscribe to my channel, and do not forget to share this video to anyone who might find it interesting or beneficial. Let's get on with this content. Alright, cover supervisors are responsible for teaching Key Stage 3 and Key Stage 4 pupils in the UK. Children aged 11 to 16 years. These are children in secondary schools in my home country where I'm coming from, JSS1 to JSS3, SS1 to SS3. These are the Key Stage 3 and Key Stage 4 pupils. They call them pupils here. Back home, we call them students, So, you as a cover supervisor, you are responsible for teaching them in quotes. Remember, I said in quotes. Now, let's start by talking about what you might be needing in order for you to get a chance to teach as a cover supervisor. It might surprise you to learn that you might not be required, to have a degree in education for you to work as a cover supervisor in secondary schools in the UK. Speaking from experience, I have met a couple of people working, especially foreigners, Nigerians precisely, and one Ghanaian, in the secondary school here. I think I may have mentioned that in one of the videos I made here, So, two of them were master's students here in Teesside University, but they got a chance to work as a cover supervisor in the secondary schools. Hence, one thing I know about Africans, especially most Nigerians that are in the UK, immigrants, most of them already have some level of education, not just secondary education, not MVQs, not college education, university education. Some of them have 2 degrees before they arrived in the UK and started their masters. That is enough for you to be qualified as a cover supervisor. Most agencies wouldn't even require you to have a degree in education. Meanwhile, the recent interview I attended in a school, in a secondary school precisely, to work as a cover supervisor, in the requirement for the interview, it was stated that having a degree in education isn't necessary, but it should be an added advantage. That was the statement. I wish I could find that letter. I would show it to you. So this is a clarification that it does not require you must not necessarily have a degree in education for you to work as a cover supervisor. And I also stated in one of my videos that the interview I went, one of the applicants that made it successful didn't have any degree in education. Rather, data management. That was all she had. And then 1 day a week voluntary work in a school. That was all the experience she got. And she was able to get that job as a cover supervisor. Now, when I say teaching in quotes, as a cover supervisor, you are not going into school to start teaching as a classroom teacher. You are there when the class teacher is absent. That is why it is called a cover supervisor. Cover supervision. That is what you are doing. You are to present the already set lesson by the class teacher or the class teachers, because often at times you will be rotated from class A to B, C, different classes. You might go to JSS1 today, or there are always 5 lessons in a day. First lesson might be with year 7, JSS1. Second lesson, year 8, JSS2. Third lesson, you might rotate all the classes in the whole day. Sometimes, I think I've done 2 sections, 2 hours period in a session where they call choices. That's where they put students who somehow misbehaved in the class, and they put them there to read and study as a punishment, the choices they made. So sometimes you might be asked to go to choices and work for like 1 hour. That's one session, one period. Then you go back to the classroom and take over. What are your duties as a cover supervisor? Like I've stated so far, the major role of a cover supervisor is to stand in the gap for an absent teacher. Sometimes the teachers won't be absent, but they might be doing other assignments in the school, especially during examination time. They need cover supervisors to come stand in place for the teachers. And on arrival to a school, you will be given your tasks for the day, a printout your login details to log into the computer. As a cover supervisor, you log into the computer. Sometimes you don't even use the projector to present anything. And on that sheet you'll be given, they've already stated what you'll be doing for your first period. It could be maths. You are not teaching the maths, I can assure you. There might be a printout workbook, or the instruction might be for the children to use their workbook, write in it. You talk to them, distribute the worksheets. So as you have given out the prepared materials, especially the tasks the children are to be carried out, all you have to do is to talk to them, give them instruction as to what the teacher wanted them to do. And then you can walk around the class. Sometimes they might provide a teaching assistant attached to you in that classroom that will be working with you. You go around and see that the pupils are diligently doing their work. It's also your duty as a cover supervisor to provide materials or tools, required to complete a pre-prepared task by the teacher. If there are materials, if they will be needing iPads or whatever to complete this task, you are to arrange them beforehand so that the children can come in, make themselves comfortable. You will ask if they need be. One thing I like about the school setting here, if children are to do any practical course, they have a set up classrooms where they go in for it. This particular class is used for maths, and you know what that means. JSS1 would come in there and do their maths, JSS2 would come in there and do their maths, JSS3, not at the same time, at a designated period. Same applies to an English class. So you don't have much work to do because the classroom is already set up. If it is something that they'll be doing in the systems are already there for them to, it's just for you to put it on. And you might be wondering, okay, because I had this fear at first, my first time, it was a bit hard for me accessing the computer because I was to take roll call, Though this is why it is important you are hearing from the horse's mouth. Yes, somebody who has got experience, because I asked a lady, a Nigerian lady as well, who has been working as a cover supervisor, and she never even taught in Nigeria. Yes, but she's been a cover supervisor for over a year plus. She had also worked in the nursery school here for one long section, academic session, before she got a job as a cover supervisor. So she put me through as to what to do, and I came home. I come here on YouTube, oh my God. I just had to check on how to use Sims. It is an app they use for roll call. It is very simple. Sometimes you can seek help from the teacher in the next class to come show you how to do all these things. These people, a lot of them are very friendly. They will just put you through, and it's a simple thing you can get started with. So do not limit yourself, and do not let fear, put you down from taking that step, especially moving from your current job to a new one that is something that you've been, interested in doing. Sometimes we are interested in doing something, but because we are not sure, we are really scared to take that step. It is also your job as a cover supervisor to work across different subjects. I think I've mentioned that here. My first time, it was Spanish that I was able to supervise 3 different classes. In fact, I didn't even know what I just gave them their exercise and I supervised them. I made sure that the class was calm and cool. They did their assignment or exercise, and then I collected the sheets. Lesson is over. I did roll call, because usually every lesson you have to take a roll call. As maybe 15 minutes into the lesson, when the children are doing the task, you can just take a roll call. I've also covered maths. I don't even know 1 plus 1 in maths. Sorry to say that I know 1 plus 1, but I'm not that good. So you have to work across different subjects, both biology, whatever subject you can think of in secondary school. They must put you there as a cover supervisor. And it is easy because you are not the main teacher. You are not there to teach, but to guide the students, watch them, help them do their job. There is no much. Communication is a major important factor here. You must have a great communication skill, a listening skill to understand the questions these children are asking. Sometimes if they ask you the questions that you do not have an answer for, you might want to tell them that you're sorry. You might want to put that question down and refer to their teacher. When the teacher comes, their teacher should be able to provide an answer to the question. You see, it is a very simple job role. So one of the challenges of this job is being able to deal with difficult students. There are a lot of them. I can assure you, a lot of them are quite difficult and a bit nasty, a bit rude, but you have to develop thick skin, knowing what you are there for, to impact on them, to teach and do your job. If you don't have patience, if you don't have ability to endure, sometimes you cannot do this job. For me, it's something I love doing, because I like the duration of, the working hours of the job is just 8 hours. You start 8:15 and you are done 3 o'clock or 2:30, depending on the school. And it's so good. It's a work you go to at the end of your shift or your work. You do not feel it. You feel as if you've never been to work. You're still active and want to do more stuff. And I like it because you are standing for a teacher. You dress neatly, smartly, presenting whatever you are presenting in the class. Sometimes you get a teaching assistant attached to you to help you in the class. In fact, I like the job, to be honest with you. It flows very well, apart from a couple of difficult students. But then you knowing how to deal with these difficult students would really help a lot. This is why they have provisions for choices board in the classroom. I know learning children's names can be hard, especially foreign names in this country. It was also hard for me to place a face to a particular name in a class, because if you want to punish somebody, you must know the person's name, isn't it? Yes, especially when you are expected to write down the name of any students that was disrupting the class or the lesson. You need to know the person by name. And once you put down 1 or 2 names there, everybody will keep quiet. So this is a trick. Just know how to use the choices board and you learn your pupils' names. It's difficult learning their names, but that would help. And bear in mind that it is always very easy to identify rude children, loud children in class. Yes, these are the first set of people you would easily identify than those quiet ones. So if you are looking for a permanent role in this job, because me, I work for agencies, 3 different agencies, like I've once mentioned, permanent role, you would be earning something around 23 to 24,000 pounds in a year. It depends on the school, sometimes 20, 21, and the location also matters. But for me, I work as a supply. That means I am not steady in a school. I could just work 2 times or 3 times in a week in a particular school, and that would be it. So I am not permanent. I'm not working Monday to Friday, so the job is something very, very rewarding, especially if you are looking for a short-term job. that would allow you, work around your family as well. So generally, as someone who is interested in becoming a cover supervisor, you might want to apply directly to a school, or you start with agencies. That would really help. I've seen 2-3 people who applied directly to a school and they got the job, and they never had any experience working with agencies directly into a school, and they are working as cover supervisors. So you might want to apply to a school directly, or you join 1 or 2 different agencies and kickstart from there, just like I'm doing. All right, guys, this is it for this very content. I hope the little bit I was able to share here is able to help you to kickstart your journey in education as a cover supervisor. Thank you once again for watching. Subscribe to my channel, like this video, and keep coming for more. Bye for now.